That music is high. I don't care what nobody's saying. Look, you need to go and stream that song or download it. I feature. Anyway, let's get to the show. Tonight's show, we are giving you an update on the whole Brian Carn and Pierre Whitlow. Let me tell you why I'm doing that. Because I was flooded from, let me see, hold on. I got to be careful how I say this. An inside source from, clearly, in my opinion, from the whole Brian Carn people down there, done sent me all kind of information. So because I was sent this information, I have to come back and talk about that and give y'all the part that I know now so that we can make a better judgment. Remember last week's show, is it okay to expose people online? And we all had difference of opinions. But now we can draw greater conclusions to support our expose or no expose. But before we get into all that, we got to talk about all the stuff that is happening in our world. First up is LeBron James. LeBron James has agreed to go to the Lakers to play. He's leaving the Cavaliers. He's leaving the Cavaliers, and he is going to the Lakers for about $150 million for 4 years. I will go to any darn about it for $150-something million for 20 years. Take me, send me, I'll do whatever you want me to do. I will throw the basketball, I will hit the ball, whatever. I will gather, I put the balls, I shine the balls. I do whatever you want me to the basketballs. If you pay me $150-something. But he going over there for $150-something million to the Lakers. And I think it's very smart to do. A whole lot of people online. Look, 56,000 tweets a minute. 56,000 tweets a minute. When this news dropped, that's what was happening on Twitter. So I had to discuss this here on the show. Now, I don't watch basketball. I don't watch football. Let me say that back. I don't watch regularly basketball, football, or any of them games. But whenever I feel like it, you know, you get me the right food around, the right company, I'll watch, because I used to watch faithfully when I was much younger. But once I got out of it, I never got back in it. But the numbers to the game is what interests me. The contracts. It's the entertainment field. So I love entertainment. So that's the thing that intrigues me. $150-something million for 4 years to run up down the road with your ball because you're gifted to put it in the hoops. I think that is spectacular. I think it is great. He is going to the Lakers. So, of course, I think Kobe Bryant is over there. Magic Johnson is one of the ones that was on the Lakers, so he's going in that whole tier along with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's the Lakers. I know a few other ones that's in there anyway. So Shawnee's husband, Shaquille O'Neal, that's the Lakers. The guy that is talking about slept with a whole lot of folk, Wilt Chamberlain. So he's going in that whole hierarchy. I think it was a smart move. He's leaving Eastern Conference and he's going to the Western Conference. I think it's great. LA has a vibe. LA music has a vibe. The entertainment world has a vibe. Even their church culture has a vibe. Hey, go with it. Enjoy it. I think that's going to be real good for him and for his family. And this is a family. A lot of people give this man a lot of flack. But he's a family man, it appears to be. He's pretty stable, pretty has an upright reputation. I think that is good for young black kids and white men, to see in a entertainer in the area of sports. I think it's great. I think it's a good thing. A lot of people, of course, is going to be changing teams now because they follow the personality, and that's just what we do. I don't think people should be killed and called that, you know, they're getting on the bandwagon because they're going to start celebrating the Lakers. The colors is nice. It is LA. Snoop Dogg over there, all our favorite rappers, Ice Cube and all them. Go on over there. Go on over there and be a Lakers fan. I like the colors too, and I like LA too. Hope to be working there really, really soon. Now that's what I hope. Okay. Anyway, on to the next thing. Now, this is what, now, because we're talking about tonight, with everything we're discussing tonight, there's a whole lot of stuff to talk about. And look, if you want to talk about all of the stuff going on in our culture and in our world, you've got to like the Facebook page, because we consistently post whatever's going on, and everybody get up under there and talk about it. Stuff go viral all the time. So you need to start following the page. And this is one of the stories that I posted up there, and I want to talk about, because everything tonight we're talking about money, sex, power, and the lies. Terry Crews. Now, for those of you that do not know, if you've been up on the rock, you don't know. But if you have not been up on the rock, you do know about the Me Too movement. Okay, this is all about masculinity in the workplace, in our world, taking advantage of the femininity in our world and in the business area, especially in entertainment. But Terry Crews, aside from what's that boy, about 2 or 3 little white boys, except for them little tiny little white boys that came out talking about me too. He was the first, what we would see as a straight, masculine, strong man say, me too. Somebody got hold of me too, particularly my genitals. So it was said that in 2016, they went to this great big party. Parties happen all the time in LA and any entertainment city, wherever people are going to be getting together to make the decisions with the actors, those that starring, those that got roles, even those that want to get roles, even with the thoughts be there, and all the food and all the caviar and all of the wine, and everybody's there. So you got to go to them parties. So, of course, he went there 2016 with his wife and went up in there. Probably had on a very nice fitting, nice suit. And, he supposed to be like this picture of fitness and stuff a lot of times. I think he even got some endorsements that surround him fitness and eating well. I think he got one with Wheaties. Ain't he got one with Wheaties? I think I remember one with Wheaties. But into done way, he's there with his wife. Well, this executive. Now, they said that now we can narrow down who this was. Let me see if we can narrow it down. Y'all start Googling and see. It was the agency that he was in 2016. And it was the highest ranking one in the motion picture department. That white man, him, said he was drunk and tipsy. So, I hate when folk use drunk as an excuse to act the pure fool, or when folk use their astrological sign as the reason why that they're being, acting all kind of crazy, man. Well, I am a Gemini. Well, I am an Aries. No, you use irredenting, and you need some self-control. Act right. Act right. You got power to act right. You blaming it on no stars and on no alcohol. Anyway. So the man said that he was tipsy. That's what they told him after he called him out on it. But let me tell you the story. So he's there, people walking around, whatever you would like, whatever you like. He there with his wife. Get the image in your head there in black tie event. Everybody looking really nice. And his pants were probably tight. Probably see his bulge in the front and the bubble of his booty and the thump of his chest. And his wife sitting there looking like a trophy, so he ain't nobody paying no attention. That got a little liquor in him. He just seen this black man look like one of them high price slaves on the auction block 50 years ago that can do a lot of work and that he could rape in the barn, and looked at him and just grabbed his genitals and held it. Hold on a minute. This was not a grab and release kind of situation. This was a grab and let me have a conversation about what's in my hand. And that's exactly what it did. I think he said, I can't remember. He said something, but whatever he said, he didn't have my knee-jerk reaction. My knee-jerk reaction, somebody wrap and grab my crotch would have been like that. But clearly, he must, for some reason, I don't know, but he just stood there and just allowed the gropage and then said whatever, and that was that. And his wife knowed about it and just really put it up under the rug, until now. So he recently sat down and it was aired on CNN and he was questioned. Let's watch this.
The first reaction was to be violent. And I immediately held back.
Why weren't you? You're a big, powerful man. Why didn't you?
Senator, as a black man in America.
Say it as it is. I think it's important.
You only have a few shots at success. You only have a few chances to make yourself a viable member of the community.
Now I'm gonna say this. I can't say I've ever been a Terry Crews fan. To me, he was one of those actors that was good. That's always like, the sidekick of the main star or whatever the main plot is. He's like one of the extras. I never saw him. But after watching him sit down with CNN, that was aired on CNN, and actually give an answer for the question he was asked, there's more to it than what I showed you. Now in my heart, I think he sort of got me. I'm like, Terry Crews. I mean, because he said it as a black man. I mean, you in Hollywood. You in a white male dominated sector of entertainment, if not all of it. And the Jews got the other piece. But anyway, and you only got a few shots, and here you are on your next movie that is coming up, which as because of this, you guys, he can't be in the movie. Because as I said, this is something that happened within this agency. He got the movie, is it Expendables 4 that he was supposed to be in. And they sent word saying that he need to drop these charges and talking about this in order for him to secure his spot. That ain't how they said it, but they said it the politically right way. Look, basically, if you're going to be in this show, you need to quit talking all that, all you talking about. Terry Crews. Bro, you done got me. And you see when he was about to cry? I don't know if that's good acting or not, but I felt that thing. When he about to cry, he said, I'm a black man, and I won't try to mess. I was going to let him touch whatever he want to touch until the Me Too movement started. And I seen them two gay boys that was taking advantage of, saying the reason why they're gay now because somebody messed with them when they were little. That's what, I don't know if that's what they said, so don't quote me on that. It's my mind make up his own movie. I tell you the part that is made up and embellished, and I tell you the part that is actual and factual. That part is made up. But in their own way, they gave because of them the man, I can't think of his name, that was on that show that's on Netflix. They canceled as a result of him messing with them, So, and he was like, let me speak up for the men who are molested, who are raped, and taking advantage of. Who taking advantage of in Hollywood and da. And so he speaks up, and now it's costing him. You should have just shut up and found another way. I mean, you got my heart. God bless you, but you shut up, shut your mouth, get your check, and tell this story later. What in the world wrong with you? I don't know what the world. Clearly, it ain't bothering you emotionally or nothing like that. It don't seem like that's the issue. You just done this, just to be, good Samaritans. You should have stayed quiet and was told it later. Let me tell you something, and I know y'all not going to like this, but I can say this. I know sometimes some things happen, but you don't need to always open up your mouth and say something about it right then. There's a time and a place for everything. Should have kept getting your coin and got into the next movie and save your money, pay off all your stuff, put your money to the side, then come out with it. But let me tell you something that did concern me, though. Did you notice how the white female, I'm not making it a racial thing, but how the white female, this is a little in. Testing. I don't know what last thing y'all heard me say, but I was fussing. But I never heard nobody be like, well, woman, how come you didn't fight your attacker back? Because women are stronger from waist down than men are from waist up. I ain't never heard nobody ask that. Have you? I ain't never heard nobody ask that. So why you ask him that? That's what I want to know. Why? I don't know the last thing y'all heard me say, but anyway, that's what I think about it. All right, so let me see what y'all think about the Terry Crews thing. Oh, remember tonight, Power, Money, Sex, and Lies. I got an update for the Brian Carn and the Pierre Whitlow, so tell everybody about it. Okay, let me see what y'all saying over here on Facebook concerning it. I don't know. Okay, I can't see over. Let me see over here right here. You got to keep an eye on the sound, Nancy, because I be having conversation with the folk, not paying attention to what I got going on. Oh, okay, all right, yeah, because I get caught up in talking. I'm gonna tell y'all something. The way that I'm able to do this show is I act like I'm sitting at the house talking to somebody that I like, and we just share everything, So if something going wrong, y'all need to hurry up and tell something, because I lie but not see it. I'd be caught up in the whole story. All right, so that's it. All right, going to the next story. The next story that I want to talk to you about, we've probably been looking at this for about a week, is concerning Damon Dash and Lee Daniels. Let me tell you who Lee Daniels is. Let me give you a little backdrop of the story. Let me do that. Long time ago, there was this movie. Well, there was a few movies that he did, but we ain't start paying attention to Lee Daniels to probably Precious. When Lee Daniels done Precious, and Oprah and Tyler, all of them together sort of got together and came up with this whole story, and they put their monies together and they produced and they hired Monique to do. That's who Lee Daniels is. Well, prior to Precious, the whole Monique thing, which I'm gonna talk about right after this. Prior to that, he had a few other movies. Lee was just a young black gay male in Hollywood trying to sell his movies and not sell no tail. That's who he was. And so he was asking around different people to invest in his mess. So one of the people he went to was Damon Dash. Now, this was umpteen years ago. And he drawn up some paperwork. It was for real paperwork. A lot of people don't know this. For real paperwork that was drawn up for him to invest. Basically, he's saying, give me $2 million so I can, produce this film and put it together in a way that it can compete with what's out there. And a lot of people don't understand this. This whole production piece, and I be trying to tell artists this, especially the gospel artists, since I do radio promotion and gospel artists. I be trying to tell them, you got to spend some money in production, because you got to compete with the labels who spending hundreds of thousands of dollars surrounding the release of one single sometimes. But anyway, so he went to Damon Dash because they had some form of friendship, some type of relationship. And somebody would be like, how is somebody like Damon Dash, who's like a thug, a lot of people see him as being a street thug, have a relationship with Damon Dash in the LBGTQILNOP community? Huh? What'd I say? Damon Dash and Lee Daniels. Okay, thank you. So let me go ahead and update you guys. The hip hop community, the drug dealer, sell on the street, 10 women pushing drugs community, hard thug community, and the LBGQ community. For those of you that there's a section of the LBGT community, they all one group. Now, what the public see is all of what I just said and the hip hop hard side. But then the flip side, and you flip some of them thugs and what's the name them over, flip them over like that, they look like that inside. And a lot of times they pieces, they side pieces. A lot of times them hip hop and drug over masculinized men, they got about 10 women and 2 dudes. That's just how it worked. And it's always been like that. Let me tell you when I found this out. I found this out when I was going to school at North Carolina Central in Durham, North Carolina. Here I am, because I was raised a church boy. Of course, we had a little ghetto street that we hang out on down around the corner. I would go down there in the gutter. They call it the alley. And hang with some of the Fremont folk and stuff. But Cause they was gutter, what they call ghetto or rough and thug people, and had some friends and stuff, getting them fights and stuff. I still have that love for fighting, all that kind of going on. But anyway, but when I went there at Central, and the football players was to my right, the basketball players were down there. Then you had the thug and everybody's. And I seen these community choirs. Then you see the boys coming there that dress up like girls, and they come through there, hey, and you will see all them smoke weed, or all them do drugs, and then sometimes he be knocking down his girlfriend or her friend, and then sometimes her friend that was a gay guy. Oh, that's all one thing. So for all of you like, well, how in the world did Damon Dash? Why would he loan him $2 million? Because they probably were cool. There ain't no telling how many times they shared crack, cocaine, weed. I'm telling you what truth is. This ain't what somebody told me now. I'm telling you what the T.I., what do they call it? Like it T.I. is. Like it is. This is what goes on. And I learned this in Durham, North Carolina Central University, freshman year. I said, oh, that's one community. I didn't know that. Didn't nobody tell me that. So this is how he was able to say, here, a little piece of paper, $2 million. I don't care how rich you are. $2 million is a lot of money. Somebody talking about, well, back then when as rich as he was, that wasn't a lot of money. That's a lie. I don't care how rich you are. $2 million. Have you ever seen Oprah give somebody $2 million? Oprah don't give out $1 million each, and she got all kinds of money. Tyler Perry, if they're going to give out $1 million, it's something real big. It ain't no up and coming, somebody ain't never had nothing in their name. Tyler Perry gave $1 million T.D. Jakes. That T.D. Jakes cost $1 million. So they had to be friends. All right. So Diana Ross had a little something going on, and Lee Daniels hopped up there on stage, and Damon Dash was up there on stage as well. And at that moment, he took the moment to remind him that, nigga, you owe me money, and you ain't been answering your phone call. When I'm going to get my darn money? Listen here. I gave you his money as a black man. So you mean to tell me $2 million, bro? You told me you were going to give me my money. Yes, I know. I know, Damon. What's wrong, man? I know I'm wrong, Damon. You didn't invite me. The pressures are nothing, Damon. Tell all these people. Damon, you don't call me? Damon, you don't call me? Damon, let me give you my phone number, and we'll discuss this, all right? You better call. You better give my money. You don't want, Damon, I'm going to give you my money. I'm going to give you your money. All right. All right. All right. You're going to get it. You never want my money. What? Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I think Lee, in his spiritualisms, I think he began to feel the fear. He looked like he was scared to death. I see a little piece of embarrassment, but more than anything, I see fear. Because, see, Lee know, like all of us know, Damon had fell on some hard times, and we synced that show. Damon got a crazy streak, and I think he a Gemini. You know, Gemini's got that switch. So one day it'd be really nice and cool and calm. Like, oh my God, it's so loving. And next day, like, this nigga is absolutely crazy. And he didn't know he about to get stabbed. He didn't know he about to get shot or what. Ow! And he was scared to death. I know he was praying. I would have been praying. I was praying hard as possible. Well, this went completely viral. This is the power of social media. And before we got to some resolve, TMZ, of course, they caught up to Damon Dash, and he had this to say after we saw this clip. Let's watch this.
This is what I consider a culture vulture. Someone that takes from the culture, even if you're black. He's black, and he's really disrespecting a good black man that tried to help him and exploits the culture. All his subject matter is about the culture, but when it comes time to even pay back the culture that helped you, he just has no explanation. And I tried to work it out with him. We spoke on the phone, but he just keeps lying to me. And I have a book called Culture Vultures, and you can read about it in the book. I talked about it. I talk about all the people that continue to think that when I put money into them, they just don't have to pay me back. And everyone that owes me money, I'm going to legally get at you, and I'm going to make sure everybody knows because I'm a good guy.
So he called him a vulture to the culture, which I think was very creative. And I actually come to find out, and this really makes me think, I can't help but think this way. You know, a lot of times this stuff makes these stories, and then next thing you know, the person got a book or single that's connected to the story that went viral. My children is the only reason why I won't do a sex tape, and my mom and daddy won't do a sex tape or release some naked pictures. Because clearly, this is the way to get to where you got to get. I keep begging y'all to stream iFeature and Gotta Say Goodbye and The World Needs You and to download my gospel albums that I done some years ago. I ain't got to do that. Just get butt naked. Just get butt naked. Because he hear the term, culture vulture, bam, drops a book. Culture vultures. He talk about it in this book. I'm sort of getting the hip to some of this stuff that's going on. Because that boy with the baby arm between his legs, what's his name? Safari. He done the same thing. Showed his baby arm, put it out there for everybody to see. Everybody went crazy. Oh, Lord, he got a baby arm between his legs. Oh, Lord, look at that. The women just, Safari. You know, bam! 100 on this. 100 on 100. Dropped the single, which was hot. You know, I only think he did need to do the baby arm thing first because that's what got on my show, and then I got singles. It was good. Smart marketing. All right. So anyway, so he called him culture vulture, and social media is blazing up for real then. And it really gave Damon Dash a resurgence. Ain't nobody really know what the heck he got going on, except for his children on that show, the hip hop, the Children of Hip Hop. No, what you call the show on the TV? Growing Up Hip Hop. Yeah, because one of his children of them. Okay. All right. So TMZ caught back up with Lee Daniels and listen to what Lee Daniels said.
When nobody in Hollywood was giving me money after my Academy Award, unprecedented with Halle Berry, nobody was giving me money. Damon's crazy ass was crazy enough to give me money for The Woodsman and for Shadowboxer. And that investment, the investment for Shadowboxer didn't pay off. So,
but it was an investment, right?
It was an investment, but
not a loan.
It was an investment, but I looked him in the eyes and I told him that you would get your investment back. This black man gave me money when nobody, not Disney, not Sony, not TriStar, not Paramount, not Warner Brothers, for a film. He did it. And so for that, you know, he deserves his money. And so I'm going to work out something for him to get him, because I am in the position now to get it to him. So I'm going to get it to him because I think that that's the right thing to do. And it sadly took that wake-up call during Diana reach out and touch somebody's hand.
Oh, TMZ did post that footage, but it actually came from Rack Rants. I think I'm pronouncing that properly. He gave her the exclusive interview. I don't know what she did to do that. She must give him a nice piece of coin to do that. But anyway, and somebody said to me that there was no paperwork. There was paperwork involved when it comes to investment. He was supposed to give it back to him in 30 days. How many years is since press? That's a long time. So the reality is they had to be close friends, because Damon should have been sent somebody he know to get rid of him. He would have just been dead. Did you see how quick they killed XXXTentacion? Everybody knew he was coming there to go buy a motorcycle and had about $25,000 cash in a Louis Vuitton thing. They pop up out of there, shoot him in the neck, and take his bag. When it comes to killing somebody and erasing somebody, black folk is like the mafia. They will find you and kill you when they want you dead. So the very fact that Lee Daniels is alive and have gave us The Butler and given us The Empire and the other show behind it, that tell you right there that they had to be close friends. And thanks be to God. I'm telling you, I might would have just beat him just cause. Still, I mean, just because all that long time waiting. $2 million to help pull him out. Because he spent $1 million. Y'all know he lost over $1 million on a movie that he produced probably about 5 years ago and really didn't go nowhere. I think we saw on TV somebody bought it, but I don't think he done anything besides break even. I might would have whooped that tail just a little piece. Just a little piece of a tail whooping, just a little bit. So nigga, you got to pay a little bit for this because you shouldn't have been waiting for so long. But anyway, no doubt cause he got the money now, so he's gonna give him $2 million with interest because Precious is still making money, and we found that out because of a tape that Monique released. Secret conversation between her, Tyler Perry, and with her husband, Sidney. Oh, Lord have mercy. Now this story here, that's Monique, that's Tyler, Oprah, and Lee Daniels. This go back to Precious now, y'all. Well, she always said that Tyler Perry had said that he knew that Lee, he didn't say Oprah though, that Lee should have given her some more money or that she's owed more money because of how big it went. Now, granted, she won 2 awards as a result of her role in that. But because of this whole thing here, she say that she was blackballed by Lee and Oprah. She didn't say Tyler Perry, but she said Oprah on the stage. Remember, she got on stage, she's about something. Remember that? She said about Oprah, Tyler Perry. No, she did name all 3 of them, I think, that night. But then her later talks, she has a YouTube show. She mainly pushes it on Oprah because she had a conversation about Oprah and because Oprah interviewed her mom and their relationship was messed all up and she wasn't supposed to air it until she called Monique back. She called Monique. Monique was basically like, no, I don't want you to do this. And Oprah said, because you said that, I won't do it. But she still ran the show. And so she blames Oprah for that. Plus, she wanted more than $50,000 she got for doing that role in Precious. And then they wanted her to travel overseas on a press junket to promote Precious. And she said, I ain't going nowhere till y'all give me some more money because you ain't give me about $50,000. Now all this money that made sense. Then in the phone call, Tyler Perry said, I'm going to research and find out why in the world you ain't got none of the money that was left that had been coming to residuals from Precious. I'm going to find out what it is and I'm going to write you a check. And I do agree that you were done wrong. Why Monique put this out? She should have just waited on God. That's all she had to do. She put it out 1 week. And then 7 days later, this whole story came out about Lee Daniels and Damon Dash. That made everybody think, maybe we should listen to Monique a little bit. See, sometimes, I try to tell you that whole exposed thing, I know sometimes you need to. But the expose online, like I said, I'm pro exposure when it comes to confrontation because confrontation is care-frontation, caring for yourself and all those that are involved. So I'm all pro confrontation and expose on as it relates to that. But expose online, that thing come back and get you in the hind part. Just take a bite out your tail. I don't know about that one. You should just wait on God because God was moving. You ain't even know it. Bam. Now, Tyler probably looking at you sideways because he don't know when he talking to you on the phone and you talking to somebody else. I mean, hold on, I ain't said that right. Don't know when he talking to you on the phone and he talking to somebody else called you darn Corden. Should just waited on God. That's why I'm team no expose. And we're going to get to this information that was sent to me. Lord have mercy. When I tell you this is a whole mess. But we'll get to that. But anyway, so this is what I want to tell y'all about this. Monique released a statement. I posted it on Larry Live Facebook page. It's a short video. Go watch it. You can see what she said as it relates to the whole Lee Daniels thing. But I'm gonna tell you what's gonna come good out of this. And I heard a rumor that can be found online. Like I say, I don't expose nothing up here that you can't. It ain't Googleable and researchable. I don't want that on my hand. And I'm not saying if you do that and that's what you do, I'm not saying something wrong with you, but it ain't what Larry Reid do. Okay. But I heard. Guess what? You gotta ask me what for dramatic effect. Can you ask me? What? You gotta ask me more. What you talking about?
What you talking about?
Huh?
Tell the people.
Tell the people what?
What you heard.
About what?
You heard something.
Oh yeah, let me tell you about it. You know that helped me get. Monique is working on a $10 million deal with Netflix. Ain't God good? Now, I still don't agree you should have came out of there with all of that. But I'm so glad. Do you know how good that's going to be on Netflix? Monique is funny. Y'all say what you want to say. Monique is naturally funny. Now, she cuss a whole lot and she talk nasty, but she funny. I'm just saying she funny. So she's working on a $10 million. So she go from them offering her $500,000 to them offering her now $10 million. So that's going to be great. I can't wait for that. And they still in negotiations, so they can't announce it until it gets solid. But I heard that Sydney is actually at the negotiation table with Netflix. So that is going to be great. Now, we're about to get into Brian Carn versus Pierre Whitlow. I got to get my bearings. So while I get my bearings and you start sharing and calling everybody because you got past the show that you don't want to pay no attention to. But I ain't going to never stop doing that part of the show because that's what got me here. I'm about to play a minute commercial. And you need to Shazam this while I'm playing this and start streaming it and downloading it. And I'm going to come back and tell you about this old mess that I don't even want to talk about. But I'm going to tell you.
They hating, speculating about that paper. I feature. Burn them eyes, make that fire move on higher. I feature. Green fame to the name, make them change it. I feature. While they hating, speculate, anticipate it. I feature. While they hating, speculating about that paper. I feature. Burn them eyes, make that fire move on higher. I feature. Green fame to the name, make them change it. I feature. While they hating, speculate, anticipate it. Everybody dance around loud as you can't stop hard, put your feet on the floor. Ain't nobody fly like you, lift it up, turn around. And hurt me, it never ends. Gotta say goodbye to my good love. You made me cry, cry too much. Gotta say goodbye to my good love. You made me cry, cry too much.
Testing 1, 2, 3 like I'm at the church house. Can y'all hear me? I just need to go. Look, if y'all want me to fix this sound, this is what I need. I need to go spend $40 on something. My girls here, I done spent $800 extra out my budget. Now I'm had to go get on the pole because it's the first of the month. My girls don't leave to the July 10th, go back to their mama. So I'm fresh out of paint. So go right there on YouTube right now and do $40. And next week, you won't have this problem. How about that? Hey, it's our show. Ain't it? It's our show. Okay, so go ahead and just clear everything out the way and just sit back and go and find out to get the rest of this story. I'm had to update some. I'm going to update those of you that don't know nothing about this story in about 2 minutes and bring you up to where I'm at. All right, here we go. Go ahead, but this here is Prophet Pastor. We've called him on this show opposite Prophet Brian Carn because a whole lot of stuff he said ain't came to pass. But of course, there is a whole lot of stuff that has came to pass. But there's some stuff that ain't, so I can still call him opposite Prophet Brian Carn. But he a pastor now. And I follow him on Instagram. I follow him on the Twitterations, and I follow him on the Facebookings. And I sort of has seemed like, and to me, he seemed like that he's matured a lot. Cause one thing I said ever since I started reporting on him in 2016, that he was immature, he was young, but he has grown up a whole lot. I don't have no dog in this fight. Me and Brian Carn are not friends. We were building a friendship. I don't call everybody friends. I just don't. So I can't call him a friend, but I don't hate him. And anybody, I don't care who you are, I want what's good for you. In fact, I can share this with you. Y'all remember when that story came out about him giving some girl a STD? Well, at that time, I'm on the Word Network strong. I'm preaching everywhere. Church doing good. You know, here in Carolina and traveling, and we're not here. I'm in Georgia now. Jesus. They're in Carolina and traveling around, and everything's going good in life. And we will sometimes end up on the same platform on radio. And it was a particular show. So I got in the middle of the night, as soon as it hit, somebody sent me. Nobody has seen it when it hit the internet. I said, oh my Jesus. It put his number up there and everything. I called the number. I didn't even know him prior to that. In fact, hold on for a minute. Yes, I did. I had seen him preach at Bishop Leo Lewis in Alabama, who I admire. He's an older guy. He has a son that's named Leo Lewis too. I went there to support, but I had already heard so much crazy, man. I ain't really want to go, but I went in a darn way. So I knew who he was. But I don't like nobody. That whole exposed online thing, I just can't get with. So when I seen that, I called the number. I said, you don't know me, but change your number right now. That's what I said. Now somebody will say, you are protecting this man. I wasn't protecting somebody. Would you want your phone number on the World Wide Web? Would you want that? I wouldn't want that. I never told a soul I did that. Now, mind you, at the time, I knew some people that knew some people that knew some people. I didn't tell them nothing. Nobody knew except me and him. Oh, you get what I'm saying? You get this? When that Leandra Johnson story broke and he got on the internet and killed Leandra Johnson, I got right on the internet and I tried to tell him another one with my words. I didn't cuss, but I told him truth and told him he was operating outside of how prophets supposed to operate in the Bible. So it ain't no matter whoever you are, I'm fair. I'm going to tell you what I think, and that's just how it is. Okay. So here he is. Prophet, pastor, opposite prophet, Brian Carn. Somehow or another, he ain't had this church, but a month of Sundays, and already a scandal done hit the church. This man, other man, Pierre Whitlow, got online about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and said, and I am quoting but paraphrasing, Brian Carn slept with my wife. Now, when I heard that, two things. Number one, it's your wife. How somebody else come in and sleep with her? Number two was, why in the whole hell and the heaven is you on the intranet confessing that your whole marriage, headship, husbandism is all fucked up? I mean, you're going to put yourself out there like that. Thirdly, why you going to tell this business, including Brian Carn and your wife, and expose it on the line? Like, I see if you could have a meeting and go somewhere, but on the line. Those are the main three things that hit my head. So, I'm going to tell you what I did. Go ahead and put that picture up. I started texting Brian Carn Because by this time, over the years, he keeps showing up in the story. We having conversation, you know, and my ex-wife, you know, she got online talking about she didn't like him. Then he said, why she didn't like me so much and all this stuff. And then, you know, one of my ex-wife was my ex-co-host, and my other ex-co-host fussed them out when they called, and, you know, so we end up having a deal. But I still can't say we friends. You know, but you don't have to be my friend for me to treat you fair. So, so then, I won't get no text back, and that ain't normal. So then I DM'd him on Twitter. And since he followed me on Twitter, he'd get my DM. Now, he didn't respond back. I said, now, what in the world? Something is going on. Because he used to respond back to me. So then I found him on the Facebook and started inboxing him. And he was slow to talk and quick to say nothing. I said, now you done got up here on the intranet and you said all this stuff about these folk, and now you slow to talk and quick to say nothing to me. Tell me what's going on, sir. I'm going to talk about this. I'm telling y'all I'm doing the show, and y'all ain't going to stop me from doing the show. You better tell me what you need to put in my mouth now, or I'm just going to say my point of view. I'm going to do that regardless. So one thing he was saying back, I'll talk to you at some point in time later on. Brian Carn ain't said spit, spaghetti, spoke or nothing. Ain't said a word. So, I done the show. Y'all tuned in. My question was, you don't put it in there. I ain't playing that no more. Take that down. The next thing we're going to go to is that right in front of the Larry Live. Because I got shown in the inbox. So, here I am after I did the show. I'm just minding my own business and I was going on. Now, ding. I said, let me see. I'm always getting dings all the time. Especially in them videos that got millions of views and hundreds of thousands of comments and stuff. I have to turn my notifications off. But I know this zing. This zing was a LarryLive@gmail.com zing. I said, now hold on for a minute. Now when I get something over there, it's some money or some mess. So I grabbed my phone. And I looked. Because I know that zing. And it said, coming in here, let me pull it up. I can't read it word for word because it's just too much. I need for you to do a show revealing the truth of what happened. Hold on a minute. Take that down. This ain't it. What you doing? No, I ain't tell you bring that over. I'm going to get to that later. I want my whole $5 back that I gave you for clicking over that thing. Okay, anyway. So the person don't want to be revealed. I'm going to respect that. They don't want to be revealed. But clearly, I know they from Brian Carn camp. What he put up that he wasn't supposed to put up was not what they sent me first. What they sent me first was, I have proof that Pierre Whitlow has been trying to extort money from Brian Carn. Well, in Pierre Whitlow's video, he said Brian Carn was lying and telling a lie that he was trying to extort money from him. But according to the screenshots that I have received and what this person told me, that ain't the truth. Now, y'all remember I told y'all, I said this. I think Brian Carn slept with his wife. I sure do. I said, but there's something around this thing and something don't feel right and something funny. And here it is revealing itself. In the video, he said, if you went back, I don't know if the whole video is posted on YouTube, so you can look it up. He said in the video that he was going to beat the devil or whip the devil. And what he meant by that was pulling Brian Carn down. So this thing is not even directed towards his marriage and his wife. It's directed towards wanting to pull Brian Carn down. And so I started hearing all these comments about pulling Brian Carn down, exposing him for who he is. Now, whenever you start hearing anybody, I don't care if they're your favorite YouTuber or vlogger or blogger, if they start talking about pulling down the man of God, you need to note there's an agenda that is in here that is evil and that is selfish, that's just as evil and selfish as the agenda that they're supposed to be coming against. So I noted that in the video. I said, now hold up. So then I said back to them, if you got proof he was trying to extort them, send me something. I ain't gonna just get up here and talk a rumor. I can do that. And here it is. And it says, from Pierre Whitlow to Brian Carn's inbox, if you choose to handle this outside of the law office, I can do the gag order notarized with both her name and my name on it in exchange for $100,000. I'm being very, 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 very low. I was advised I can shoot high as 1 million and then negotiate because you have a lot to lose. I'm not interested in that. I just want $100,000. Excuse me. Let me go back to reading. If it's easier for you, you can do a certified or cashier's check. And I'm or in the memo you can put loan if that makes it easier for you to explain it. I want to be paid in full by this Thursday. If you are having financial problems, since you apparently have some, and that probably go into what he was saying in the video, talking about something about a foreclosed home and da. Well, in the email following that, the person begins to explain that Brian Carn was paying Pierre Whitlow about $2,000 a month to be the musician at his church. That's good pay. I come in there saying anything, I don't care. Just on a Sunday, that's 2 hours. I drive wherever you at and sing. I do the James Hall rock, whatever. What in Tennessee I do whatever you want me to do. Do re mi fa sol la ti do, whatever you want me to do. Yeah, that's a little side money, $2,000. Shoot, that cover a whole lot in my budget. But anyway, so when all this stuff went down, this craziness and stuff, he's either stopped playing for Brian Carn and left, which as a result meant that Brian Carn was not paying for the apartment that him and his wife was in anymore, so he was out. So he started asking other pastors around Jacksonville area and around Charlotte area for somewhere to play, and started trying to kill Brian Carn's name so that somebody can give him some mercy money, that mercy ministry pay. But it won't working out. So then he devised the plan to get some money. Carn people are saying in my email box that the story is entirely made up and that the wife is mentally ill and that Pierre has caused his wife to believe through, just like happens at the police station, that she done something that keeps messing up the marriage. So even on the phone call, it's recorded. I haven't got the recording yet. That she says, whatever my husband said we did, we did. And she said that to Carn when Carn asked, so you saying we slept together? Now, that's what Carn people are saying. That don't change my personal belief that he slept with her. And the only reason why I believe that is because he slept with some other folk that he ain't got no business to sleep with. But he maybe didn't sleep with his wife. But I just believe that he did. But maybe he didn't. And I told y'all, I said, I can look at this girl and tell she ain't well. She's not right. And so they verify that she's not right and she ain't well. Where her daddy at? Where her mama? Somebody go down there and get that girl out of all of this stuff. Go get that girl. Kevia, I think that's her name. Kevia. Anyway, so he goes in Jacksonville. He threatens through a phone call and text message to sue Brian Carn if he don't give him to expose Brian Carn online. They go back to our question, is it okay to expose online with several videos, the first one being dropped Thursday night or Friday, if he does not give him some money. He sends that's extortion, to North Carolina. Extortion over state lines is a serious crime. And he issued a threat because he said, I will put a bullet in your head. Now, that's another thing to make me think that he did sleep with his wife, because that sounds like husband talk. Because I told y'all the first thing I would have did for any of them was to find Brian Carn on my own and whip his tail had he slept with my wife. So he's talking about putting a bullet in his head. That was communicating a threat cross state lines. So now you got that charge. So this explains why this is the reason why Pierre and Brian will not respond back to me. 3 lawyers are representing Brian Carn now in Charlotte, North Carolina. He is forbidden to talk about it. And this is what I'm told in the email. There is a lawyer that Pierre's trying to acquire, but from what I understand, he ain't got now because he ain't got no money. Because he done ran his mouth and walked away from that $2,000 a month job. Let me tell you something. Just like Terry Crews, Pierre, let me tell you this. What you should have done is stay there at that church and get that $2,000 3 or 4 more months and pack it up. And then you come out with all this stuff. You got to be smart. You don't do what Terry Crews did. You keep that mess. You can get exposed or confront later. You fix your marriage, get the check, and then you get exit plan. Anyway, so his lawyer and Brian's lawyers advising them not to talk about it. So that's why ain't nobody telling me nothing. Ain't that a full blast mess? A full one. A full and complete mess. Now, this goes back to the question I asked. Is it okay to expose? Let me tell you why you don't get exposing stuff online. Because the reality is, wherever there is a mess and you are in the mess, your mess can come out with the mess. So exposing somebody online is going to mean that there are going to be some parts of this story that you don't want nobody to know about you. It's going to come out too. So don't you be exposing somebody online. Expose them to their face. Have a conversation. Talk about it. They doing it backwards. Now they're getting lawyers and mediators. They should have done that in the first if they couldn't sit down and talk. That's see? And they put it online, got all this extra. Now ain't nobody gonna want you to be their musician, probably. And if they do, they ain't gonna pay as much as they would have because you got this mess behind going on. That's a whole bunch of them. It's just a bunch. It's just crazy. I just can't believe it. Now, with you knowing what you know, what do you have to say concerning this now? And if there's anybody that is watching me that wants to say something concerning this situation at all, call me right now, 646-787-8174. Give me your name, where you're calling from, and you have 2 minutes to tell me what you are thinking about this. And let me tell you how he got back in the church. Remember I said he went to church that next Sunday? What happened was he went to church that next Sunday, according to what I was told. The money was gone, and he begged and asked to come back to play. And what Carn did, he wasn't there in Jacksonville, but he sent word to the leadership there, let him come back. And everybody there were like, no, after this man done did this, you going to let him come back? So he ain't got no money. Let him at least come play. Now that sounds like a pastor, because I've done stupid stuff like that too. Let folk come back and said all kind of crazy stuff and be back friends, get money again. That's dumb, Brian. Don't do that. I did it. Don't do it. But I know you're a pastor, you get into that. You can't pastor folk and people and you not be in love with them. I pastored 20 years. I was in love with every last one of them. All right, let's take these callers. Caller ending. Oh, you got to hit it first. Caller ending in 0670. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Sean Deshawn, calling from Houston.
All right, Houston, talk.
What's going on, sir, man? Just quick statement, man. I just want to know, why is this guy always caught up in the scandals the way he is? To be a so-called man of God, especially, and I say this tongue-in-cheek, a so-called prophet that sees everything the way he claims to see, dude don't have much wisdom. And at some point, the Bible even tells us that certain things shouldn't be named amongst us. And for some of the things that this guy gets caught up in, man. It's just like, it's just crazy. It's insane. So, and with that being said, my question to you, because I see you got quite a bit of a following. Why do people constantly, well, I guess I already know the answer to it because you're going to say money, but why do these elders and pastors and spiritual leaders and advisors constantly deal with this guy? I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, why not cut him off? To me, I think anybody else that invites this dude to their church clearly don't have his best interest, meaning Brian Carn's best interest, or the better interest of their people in heart and mind. And thus, I would conclude that you can't be a true divine shepherd called of God, having this kind of guy coming amongst your people. You know, I even hear things like he's had Bishop Ellis's daughter, granddaughter, something like that. I mean, he's like a wolf prize for the prey, you know, of the people. That's all I really want to say, man. Enjoy the show. And
don't hang up. Don't hang up. I want to answer your question.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's a great question, and it's the question that came up on the show 2016. Number 1, Brian Carn is good at what he does, whether it is envelope reading like Pierre suggesting, whether it is some other power other than the Holy Spirit operating through the gift of the word of wisdom or not. That's up for speculation, but he's good at what he does. And one of the things that he's very good at is going into a church as an evangelist, is going into a church and raising a lot of money and also reviving the people and getting them stirred up as relates to whatever it is that the church is doing. And he have went into churches and raised, and this is no lie, I know. This is what I know, not because of something somebody told me, but the places he went. I don't know if you know, I pastored for 20 years. So places he went, I had already been and knew the people. Raised hundreds of thousands of dollars in a matter of nights. And it cleared church debts, pay buildings off, get people out of debt. Also the church able to buy and do stuff for some of the people in the church that don't have a lot and not able to do certain things. So this is the reason why pastor was bringing them in, because of money. But that, to me, speaks of, because I could have brought them in at a time when I was pastor, we needed the help, but that speaks to me of a pastor, whether it is for a moment or through and through, a pastor who is more concerned about the business side of ministry than the people side of ministry, because I wouldn't have done that knowing that's possibly he gonna sleep with my daughter, like the speculator or alleged that he did with Bishop Ellis' daughter, that he stood in the pulpit and rebuked and said that he would have to come back here after my body is cold and I'm stretched across the front here at my funeral. Or whether it is Bishop, what's the name, the bishop in London church? They're talking about he was sleeping with her and stuff on the block. I can't think of her name. Francis, you know, and some other people stuff. There's so many stories, and the children in Alabama and all them. That speaks to the pastor and that church, their integrity. That's one of the reasons why. In fact, Bishop Leo Lewis, who I love and adore, and I think is one of the most powerful people in the church, that's the reason why I even heard Brian, because I went to support him. And I questioned his son, which I'm sure he should have said something to daddy. And I think I said it to his daddy. Why in the world is you going to have Brian Carn here and you talk about Bishop Demetrius Senegal being no good and lying and telling that folks saying that you his spiritual father and ain't. You done brought Brian Carn in. So what's really going on? So that I feel exactly what you said, because that's exactly what I said to some of these leaders. I said some of the same things to concerning Senegal and Carn to Bishop Orrin Poorlings. You know, I said the same things to him. I question people. I question T.L. Penn. I don't know if y'all know these people. You probably don't know these people. But in the church world, they're pretty known. I said, well, how this work if y'all dealing with Carn or Senegal? And I'm bringing this name up because it was in this video. And they got nothing to do with the fact I don't like them. Because I don't. But what's his name? But anyway, they're telling me next caller. But thank you for asking them questions, because then I can say what I felt like anyway. Thank you. He holler. All right. Caller ending in 4886. I don't know if you can hear me. Caller ending in 4886. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, my name is KC, and I'm calling from Nashville.
All right, Nashville, you're up. What's up?
Well, I don't think I have too much of a question. I just want to say this. First of all, I discovered your show probably about 4 months ago.
Okay.
And the thing that I said about your show is you are honest enough to bring certain things that happens within the four walls of church, whether it be artists, the pulpit. You bring things out that are very real issues that is concerning to all of us. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate Larry for doing that. Concerning this issue here, this is how I deal with anything in life, whether it's, regardless of what kind of discrepancy it may be. I always start with myself. And I'm a person that, that has certain gifts that I, music or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I look at my own life, and my perspective is this. There are things in my life that I've done that I'm not proud of. I experienced the human experience of say. So therefore, when I look at preachers, when I look at, I was watching the thing that you guys were talking about with, what's his name out in New York?
James Hall.
But my heart goes out to anyone, not just celebrity preachers, celebrity artists. My heart goes out to anyone that at some point in their life, they reveal the fact that they're human, just like all of us. The whole thing with the gay, the homosexuality deal in church and all of that, people want to send folks to hell for all kinds of stuff. But at the same time, I think if we were to look at situations and start with ourselves.
Come on in, yeah.
Recognize. I'm sorry?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was Black Folk Church witness, and I said, come on in here.
Oh, okay. So my point is, when you start with you first, then you deal with the secrets of your own life that a lot of people don't know about. Now, the difference between a Brian Carn and a James Hall and many others that are out there, I don't put them on a pedestal to where they're not allowed to be human. All of us have fallen short, and guess what? All of us will continue to fall short. Okay. That is the beauty of the good news of the gospel that said, yet while we were sinners, Christ still died for us. So for me to point out one other person's, now I'm not saying that wrong is not wrong.
Oh, I
wrong
get
is
you.
Wrong, right is right.
I get you.
But at the same time, I'm not going to judge someone without it starting in my own house first.
Gotcha.
When I wake up in the morning and look at that guy in the mirror, that guy is a person that has not crossed every T. He has not dotted every I. Therefore, I'm not going to look at my foot and say, you know what, you ain't no good. You need to be cut off.
Gotcha.
We are all a part of the body of Christ, and until we learn how to restore people, what does the scripture say? The person that is found in a fault, you which are spiritual, restore them in the spirit of
gotcha.
considering yourself what you are. Dude, let me tell you something. When you talk about
you done went straight up. You done went straight up preaching and then went over your time. I know you got to be a preacher. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you so much for calling. We're going to our next caller. Don't stop watching.
Thank you for your show. Keep doing what you're doing, and we're backing you up, brother.
All right. I mean, he went to, let me tell you, can tell the preachers. But let me say something as relates to what he said. And I know I got a caller on the phone. He done brought the caller in, not knowing if I got something to say for them. But caller, you just going to have to hear this. But this is what I was going to say. I fully agree with what he is saying. But at the same time, I got this thing in me to where I feel like we need to talk about and discuss whatever needs to be confronted. In my family, I have a family of hundreds of people. And I come from a line of preachers, prophets, singers, musicians, authors, and all of that. And a lot of times, because of the gifting and the position, we didn't discuss certain things. And I was the crazy one out of the family that bring everything up. And so it's always been my gift and we'll bring it up to talk and discuss it. So at the same time, we're all the same, we all got our struggles, At the same time, some stuff you need to talk about. It need to be called a spade. Need to be called a spade. All right, caller in the 2899. You got 2 minutes. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Johnny. I'm calling from Detroit.
What up?
Yes, I'm calling. I'm stuttering. I'm kind of scared because you guys are so good at what you do. So I'm kind of small. But anyways, I'm a musician. I've been coaching all my life.
Okay.
The one thing about I have never understood is this: if you get musicians from every corner of the earth and give them a music sheet and you ask them to play the music, I'm quite sure every one of those musicians will play that music exactly like that sheet music says.
Okay.
Now, what I'm saying is this: I don't understand how people can read the Bible that's supposed to be all sheet music, but everybody got a different concept of the music.
Okay.
Like, I'm coaching, I go to one church, and I go to another church, they're teaching different doctrines than this coaching church. Okay. What I'm saying is this: the Bible says follow no man. So I don't even understand why we would even follow Brian Carn enough to even follow him, to believe in him, and we don't even follow the rules and instructions of the Bible.
Okay.
Gotcha. So just a little input. So I'm just saying we need to wake up because a lot of us still think Jesus and God is the same person. First, when I ask the person is the Bible true? Then you'll get a person say, I'm not going to answer that, which really means they don't believe in it. And then you get a person say, yeah, of course the Bible is true. But if the Bible is true, why are you not going by what the Bible say? I mean, it's easy to find the snakes is what I'm trying to say if you're going by scripture.
I think I get what you're saying. You're saying if we all saw the Bible with the same lens. Well, this is I'm gonna say what you're saying. What you probably saying. If you really got the Holy Ghost, let the Holy Ghost tell you the interpretation of the Bible, and y'all quit interpreting the Bible the way y'all want to interpret it. That's what you're saying. I think.
I'm glad you said it, bro. Let's go back. Let's go to the old land. Like the old people, let's go back to the old landmark.
Okay, but let me tell you how I would say it. Everybody has a lens, and they see everything through their lens, including the Bible.
Right.
So that's what we're dealing with.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Yeah, and this is what, like I said, this, on Larry Live, you can believe however you want to believe. I'm not gonna kill you. Now, folk in the comments might rip you a new one, but I'm not gonna kill you because everybody got their own beliefs and they're strong on their beliefs. So that is what it is. It is what it is. But I will have to say that there's something we can learn from this, and I'm gonna get off this here show. Is that when you look at the whole thing, it might be best not to expose online. But it's always good to confront, because confrontation is carefrontation. Care for yourself and all parties involved. So you need to confront. And so exposure as relates to that, and exposure is the first space of healing. It's important to do so that healing can happen. And another thing we can learn is that sometimes when it comes to these people talking about church hurt, talking about a leader left, a leader hurt me, because people don't leave churches, they leave leaders. So I left this church and I went to this church and then God called me out of this. Some of that stuff, you need to get one, like I used to do my mama when she taught me how to cook pancakes. You take that spatula and you wiggle it up under the part of that pancake that done stuck to that pan, flip that joker over and see what you see. Before you make a assumption and draw a conclusion. Because sometimes there's another side to the story. Not saying Carn is right at what we have been told he did. Absolutely not. It's hard to believe that anybody would be that manipulative and sleep with somebody else's wife. Not saying that. But Pierre is not the victim only. His wife is not a victim only. I think if this had not happened, then there would still be a great pair doing whatever they did in the lives of other people. And who knows, Pierre may be pushing this so strongly because he knows some other stuff that he probably didn't speak on concerning Brian Carn when it won't him and when it was benefiting him and not messing with his $2,000 a month. See, folk all kind of funny. So you got to look into all of that. So I think that's what we can learn from this. I'm about to get on up out of here. I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next Tuesday, next Monday. And remember that if you like prayer and spiritual education, watch my other show, Power Up 15. Like the page on Facebook and follow it on YouTube, because I'm live there for 15 minutes in the morning at 6 and 15 minutes in the evening at 6 o'clock. All right, I see y'all later. Stream this music now.
They hate and speculating about that paper. I feature burn them eyes, make that fire move on higher. I feature green fame to the name, make them change it. I feature while they hate and speculate, anticipate it. I feature while they hate and speculating about that paper. I feature burn them eyes, make that fire move on higher. I feature green fame to the name, make them change it. I feature while they hate and speculate, anticipate it. Everybody dance around loud that you can't stop hard, put your feet on the floor. Ain't nobody fly like you, lift it up, turn around.